Okay, boy, what a past couple weeks it's been. Um, we all know, I'm not the only one that's under attack. Um, I know a lot of people are. I, I have some back injuries from this car accident and back surgeries, and whenever they cut on your back, it's never right after that, ever. And I should have popped back right like that, and I didn't. You know, and that's a little bitty thing too. I mean, in really good shape, but I just didn't. My back did not heal right. But that was God. He was changing my course. He wanted me. He knew what He had planned for me. He knew what my destiny was, what He ordained, the destiny He set out for me. You understand? I couldn't see it. I just could only see the pain. The pain and the suffering that I was going through. I mean, this was a long ordeal, healing. I couldn't dress myself for 2 years. And I was young. I mean, I was, in my mid-30s, but boy, I was active. And so when things like that happen, you just don't understand. I guess I was early 30s. Because Taylor was like 2, and he was a baby, and I couldn't, you know how moms do. We lift him all the time. I remember just pulling him out from the bathtub was so hard. But yeah, I couldn't fully dress myself for 2 years. I got so used to, slip-on shoes, but it's everything you have to buy. It has to be complementary to your pain, basically. But I couldn't understand it, I mean, my whole life, I had to learn to do everything differently. Everything that I loved was gone. So I had to find all new interest, all new everything. And when we go through things like that, we don't understand. We stumble a lot. We do. We stumble, we fall, we cry, we whine, we do all the wrong things, really, because we don't know. We're in ignorance, we're in our own ignorance. I just thought I was going to die then, too. How many times in my life did I think I was just going to die? That thing I was experiencing was just going to kill me, It didn't. Look, here I am. And the final one, never thought I'd be able to survive the death of a child. Never. I know my friends and my family thought I couldn't either. I'm just not. But I'll tell you, I was just worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. I mean, I just couldn't get past it. Now I know what it was about. It didn't kill me either. It didn't. If that didn't, whew. But when I was my weakest, He made me my strongest. Everything that causes us to stumble, things that we encounter and experience that causes us to stumble, it's all going to be used for God's glory. Know that. Know that. It's all going to be used for God's glory. And, we want to forget that. I do too. These past couple weeks have been, it's just been little aggravating things, but one after another. And the pain that's in my body, that has been, I have, these titanium plates and screws all down my back, and I have a cage at the bottom of my back, and, bolts and plates and stuff in here, and, anyway, I have to sleep upright, kind of like, but because I have numbness, and then any type of trauma to your body, you have that fibromyalgia, that just is crippling, but it's this thoracic outlet syndrome that I have, that it's basically my body squeezing me to death. Now, when you have an accident and an injury, your muscles go to protect that injured area. And that's why we go to physical therapy. In case you ever wonder why the doctor always sends you to physical therapy after an injury to your body, it is to relax and to get those muscles back in their normal position, right? To get them back in their normal position. Okay, well, I mean, I went, but because of this fibromyalgia, I couldn't stand anybody to touch me. It was so painful. So they tried to work through it, but they couldn't. So what happened is, those muscles that grouped together to protect that injury, they never relaxed and went in their normal position. And so now they're back there like this. After 15 years, they're squeezing, but in there is my nervous system and my blood flow. So it's squeezing, my blood flow off, and it's squeezing my nerves in there. So it's squeezing me to death. And so a surgery they would have to do is to remove a rib of mine. Well, I'm never going to have that. Never. I don't care. I'm never having another back surgery. Ever, 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 ever. And when you have, of course, when you have any type of problem on your spine, in your discs, okay, the other ones are going to start caving. The other ones are going to have problems as, the years go on, and that's exactly what's happened. I have 3 more that's shot. But I'll tell you, nope, never going to have another one, never. And so I've been doing really, really good. I know how to limit myself. I know that, see, when I start moving things and I have to go up and down steps, I can only do it for so long because I know what's going to do to my body, It's like using your tools, okay? It's like using my health tools, too. And I know this, but boy, this past couple weeks, but this week has been where it hurts to hold my head up. And it hurts I can't find a comfortable position to sit and to type or to do anything. I can't stand it. And so I can't stand to sit there and read things and to type. So that's why I can't do that. Today I feel much, much better, but that's what it is. And I'm never going to have another surgery, I'm never going to have another surgery again. But that's what I'm going through. So, but I get through these spots. I haven't had one of these. That's the thing, is I haven't had one of these in a long, long time. But this thing that shoots, it takes my breath away. Okay, it takes my breath away. Is what it does, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. So I just try to, my neck is. See, I can't move my neck. That's as far as I can move it. I can't get it past that side. So I have to move like this. I did that for like 2 years. Everybody would say, "Hey, Mary Beth, how are you?" And they'd mimic me. But it is what it is. But you know what? All that really did, it made me stronger. And what I was going to talk about today was everything in our life, okay? When we're marked, those who are marked at birth, those who are God's are marked at birth, okay? I already told you that. He sets out our divine plan. He sets it out. We think we have free will, okay? But one time he asked us, and he said, "Where is that in the Bible? Where is that stated? Where is that stated? I don't know where that's stated. We don't have free will." He said that was our plan is God's. It's the divine plan. So and even though sometimes your life may bring more sorrow and lack rather than joy, it's all for His glory. It's all for His final plan in the end. Okay. So He is in complete control of our destinies, completely. And you know what? No matter who we think we are, we can't change. We can't change His plan. When He's got it set, He can change it. We can't. So we might think we have the power to do it, but we don't. We don't. So, He said that God determines the race from the beginning. He determines it, not us. You can think you have free will, but you really don't. We really don't. He knows in advance our course, and He understands us. But because He knitted us, from our in our mother's wombs. Every single part of us, God put together. Do you understand that? He made us each specifically to his liking, I mean, to his way, to his will, to his divine plan. You know, everything from the color of our eyes, to our body shape, to how we are, he made us, you know. He knit every fiber of our life. Every fiber. So, he says that that the enemy is never in control unless the enemy is granted permission. You know, God controls everything. The enemy is not in control unless God has granted him that permission. Okay, because even the enemy, you know, is under the command, is subject to the laws of the throne, under God's command. You know, God gives control to no one. No one. It's him. So the enemy, he's subject to the laws of the throne. He's subject to God. So God doesn't relinquish that authority to anyone. So he said that free will was a feeble attempt by man, a feeble attempt for a man to be God, but by removing God from the process. How about that one? How about that one? Okay. So free will is the man plan. It's the plan for man, to take a feel-good shortcut off the race. To take a feel-good shortcut off the race. It was man's feeble attempt to be God by removing God from the process. That's what free will is. You don't have free will. We don't have free will. So, and he says, blessed is the man who discovers the wrong turn and gets back on the path that leads to the finish line. How wonderful is that? Blessed is the man who discovers the wrong turn. How many of us have taken the wrong turn? Okay, but we got back on the path. You know, through these whole videos, this is what I've been telling you. You know, it's trying. He sees you trying. It's getting back on the horse. It's getting back on the path. And standing at the end, at the finish line, no matter what you went through. You're overcomers. I'm an overcomer. You know, some days I don't think I am. Some days I really don't think I can do it. But I know I can. Because you know what? I look back of everything that I've had to overcome. These little things, what's that compared to that? Really? Yeah. But he loves the overcomer. Loves the overcomer. So it's not about what you don't do. You know, it's about what you do. Because we're always going to think we don't do enough. We're always going to think we're not good enough and that we don't do enough. We always are going, there's always going to be a why. Always going to be a why. If we, ow, oh, I hit my dog bite. Oh, I hit my dog bite. Ow. Darn dog. Anyway, there's always going to be a why if we let it. Okay? We got to stop asking why. Okay? Because it stops us. The whys stop us. The whys stop us. Doesn't matter why. Doesn't matter why. We can ask it till we're blue in the face. Doesn't matter why. It's what it is. It's God's plan. It's God's plan. So, God uses everything that we do. Everything. And everything in our life that the enemy has tried to destroy and has made for evil, God's going to turn around and make it for glory. You know, he's going to make it glorify him, and he's going to turn around and make it for good. So, he says that the enemy plants seeds of destruction. And he does. He does. That's not from God. It's from the enemy. When we think that. I had a hard time. I had a hard time getting out of that seed of destruction mode after you lost a child, because again, I was so fearful something happened to my other two children, right? So, and that's what it is. We worry that something will happen to them, because we know how much the enemy hates us. And he does hate us. He hates us. So when people say, God caused this, God allows things to happen. And if God has set a plan of things to play out, so be it. But there's a reason. There's the divine plan of the reason for him to allow it to happen. So when we get to a point where we're unsure that the destruction might be a part of the will of God for our life, because of what has happened. And how do you justify that? How do you accept that in our minds, God is good. Understand that God is good. It's what he's allowed in our life by things that we have done, because we cling to the enemy. We cling to the enemy. We cling to his seeds of destruction, to his, well, what if that happens? What about if that happens? I know, if this happens or that happens. That's called clinging to the seed of destruction of the enemy. We're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. So then when something does happen, we think that it's God's will, right? It's not. So, but again, he's got the divine plan, so he already knows everything that's going to happen, but you know what I'm saying? We can't think that way. It's always thinking the worst. It's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Can't get there. Can't get there. Can't. So we just really right now have to stand firm in him, stand strong in him. Dog bite still. Got it again. Third time. Hit the other night. Boy jumped on me again, and then he attacked my daughter, and that was it. Boy, she got bit. That was it. She saw, and so trying to figure out what to do with him. She loves him. She's attached to him, but he's got to. She's contacting some dog whisper people or whatever they got to do to him, but it's this anxiety. He's got, he's separation anxiety, and it's when he can't get, I don't know what it is, but something's wrong with him. Something's really wrong with him. But she got it the other night, and I got it again. He got me, and I just broke down in tears again. I was like, oh. So, free will? You can think it. You don't have it. I've heard it my whole life. Well, we have free will. We have free will. Well, we can, we can make those defining moment decisions that take us down the other path that's going to end up exactly where he predestined for us to be, only now we have to learn that lesson going down that path. So if that was free will to go down that path, then okay, but that path, that's going to be longer now, and with the consequence, because now we have to learn a lesson so we don't do it again, and so that path is longer and harder, to get through, and we have to stay on it until God decides that we've learned what we needed to learn. Then he lets us off of it, but we're going to be standing at the exact spot that he already preordained, only just with a spanking down it. That's what happens. So, it's his way. It's his way or the highway. It's what it is. So we can think all we want, but remember, don't cling to the enemy and his plans of and his seeds of destruction. That's what we do. And then we want to think it's God's will for us. It's not. It's not. Because that's what happens when we worry. When we worry about things, when we worry, that's when we're clinging to that seed of destruction, because that's what worry is. Worry that something will happen, something bad. Well, it's a seed of destruction. It destroys something bad. You know what I mean? It destroys something. Not only destroys something in us, I mean, it just, think about that all the way around. The enemy plants seeds of destruction. We got to stop it. We have to stop it and know that. Know what it is. Know what it is. We have to know that He's got us. He truly does. He's marked us at birth. Everything is set out. We just have to let it play out. Okay? We can't get nosy and busybodies and try to do it ourselves. That's what we can't do. That's what we can't do. And yeah, when we're good and we try to walk that and be pleasing to the Lord, again, and if we're not opening any doors, that the enemy's going to find a way through our children, our family, our loved ones, our friends, or whoever. Whoever. He's going to keep trying. So we have to know that. And right now especially, I don't know what's coming up, but I know something's coming up. I know it. And my heart has been so heavy. I've been crying over, and it's not a depression cry. I mean, it is just my heart just sinks. It's just this heaviness I'm feeling. Because something bad's coming. Something good for us. Something bad for them. And they just don't see it. It's calling. He's calling to come out of Babylon. For everybody. Come out of Babylon now. I got a wonderful word. I don't have it ready yet, but it's calling all of his children out of Babylon. They are there. And you know what I think Babylon is? I mean, yeah, there's different Babylon, especially in the Bible, but I mean, I'm using Babylon in general as all that's not of him. All that's of the enemy. Okay? Again, that's why he's had me talk about these churches, If you know what church he's in and who's are his words. But it's just find the truth in it all. Come out of Babylon. Come out of the world. Come out of everything now. I mean, time's not their friend. It's not. Come out of Babylon. It means everything that's false. Every single thing that's false. The world's false. So come out of the world. Come out of the false churches. Come out of man's world, man's law. That's what he's saying. Come out of everything that is man-made. You have to now open your eyes to what is God's and what is man's. It's hard. It's hard because it's tradition. It's what we're used to. Comfort, again. It's a comfort zone. It's very hard to walk in an uncomfortable spot because we've been comfortable for so long, okay? He knows that, though. He knows it, but it's his will, okay? And if you think we have free will, sorry about you. Don't. Anyway, I don't want to get this video too long. So, I don't know. I don't know what's coming up, but March and April, and again, this March 16th is a lot happening that day. Again, I think it's a lot of markers. I think a lot of markers are going to start happening in these next days and times. I don't know if it'll be the time, but they're all markers, and it just happens which is the marker that he's waiting for. You know what I'm saying? Which is the marker that triggers it, because they're all markers. We got a lot of markers coming up. It's just which one is the trigger. That's it. Which one's the trigger? I don't know. So we got to be ready. Got to be ready. Got to walk in joy. Got to walk in joy. And that's what the enemy's tried to do these past couple of weeks, is to steal my joy. Because I was so full of peace all the time. He's trying to steal my joy. My stutter was back really, really bad. And having to do all this for my daughter, which I understand. But I can only do so much a day, okay? I can't do everything like I used to be able to do. I can't. I have to do this or do that or do this or do that. And so this is full time, Again, from work, just everything. So, but this is the most important thing. It really is, because we're down to the wire. And I gotta stand in front of him. I gotta stand in front of him. I have to stand in front of him. And if I would disappoint him, I couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. And you know, he told us to spread this word, to share this. And what's the good of knowing all of this if nobody's sharing it? Okay? You have to leave everything that we're taught and that we learn. We have to leave. Okay? We have to leave for the others, to give them help so they know. We do. We do. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know something's coming. I know something big's going to happen. I know it is. And maybe that's why my spirit's so heavy, but I know it is. So, maybe that's why the dog is going so crazy. I don't know, but anyway, I'll talk to you in a bit. Love you. See you soon.